Hello, YouTubers, and welcome to the test.
Today's video is the first of a new video subscriber series. Episode 1 features Dr. Gonzo 818 and his Tier 9 Russian destroyer, the Udaloy. This gameplay that he submitted is amazing and definitely worth the watch. It's re-energized my desire to play higher tier Russian destroyers for sure. Russian destroyers are great at corralling battleships like cattle and dictating the enemy positioning throughout the battle. If there's not a cruiser to hold them in check, the enemy battleships are in big trouble. So as you all saw earlier, Dr. Gonzo 818 is the top tier ship in a Battle Tier 9 match. He's up against 1 aircraft carrier, 4 battleships, 5 cruisers, and 2 destroyers. Now these destroyers aren't the gunboat variety, they specialize more with their torpedoes than they do their guns. Whereas Dr. Gonzo 818 and the other Russian destroyer, the Grumpy Chef, their ships focus more on their guns and their artillery, and not so much on their torpedoes. Their torpedoes are probably considered pretty mediocre for the tier. So right off the bat, I like what Dr. Gonzo 818 is doing. He's heading straight up that 4 and 5 line, and that helps out the battleship so much because what he's going to end up doing is spotting the enemy so everybody can get a shot on them before they get behind that mountain. I really can't stand it when you're in a battleship and your destroyer players don't understand this, or your carrier players don't understand this, and they don't go out and spot with their planes. Now generally what I like to do is just stay on the outside of these mountains and not go into the center part, because I feel like if I get spotted there, I'm going to have the entire enemy team shooting at me. This is not scaring Gonzo though. This dude's just heading right in. He's gonna get some dissed. At this point, I'm really surprised that he hadn't seen anything yet. Okay, there we go. The first target. Let's see what type of fire goes out from his team in anticipation of this spotting that he's providing. Okay, I see some AP going out. Someone was ready. At least one person ready to shoot. If there was a barn over there, I don't think they would have hit the broadside of it, but at least they fired their guns, whereas nobody else did. See, right now, Dr. Gonzo is spotted, and he has just about every single enemy ship on this side of the map shooting at him, and oh no. That's the only tactical blunder of this match. He plays flawlessly outside of this. It turns out it's not even that bad. He's not spotted anymore, and he's still able to shoot his guns. One thing that I noticed, which is different in gameplay, is when I do something like this, my first thing is I gotta get out of here as soon as possible because I'm scared of torpedoes. He's just calm and patient, getting his shots out. He knows he's not spotted and there's no real immediate threat at the moment. What his aggressiveness is doing though is it's getting in the battleship players' minds, oh my gosh, we got this destroyer here. He's lighting me up with HE. He's hitting a lot of his shots. I'm gonna be on fire. I need to get out of here. So right off the bat, these battleships have barely even moved from their cap. Dr. Gonzo is just lighting them up and corralling them into that little small area where they started the match from. So because of this aggressiveness that he's showing, he's pushing them all back, and he's dictating terms. Okay, so there's the first sign of torpedoes, but I'm not even sure why they shot torpedoes in the location that they did. I mean, it's pretty obvious where all the fire from Dr. Gonzo is coming from. That's where the torpedoes should have been placed. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad that they were where they are because this video ends up being amazing. Okay, and so there's the enemy Fabuki that was launching the torps at him earlier. I'm really not sure why he decided to make this move because this is advantage Udaloy big time. And there's the second fire, that's dissed. Another thing that I noticed while watching this video is check out how fast those turrets are turning. This Tier 9 Russian destroyer does not suffer from the turret traverse that the other destroyers at lower tiers suffer from. Check out that torp wall. It is good that he decided to vacate that area. The replay looks like it's working here, but there is a replay bug with regards to the torp lead indicator and the target selected. So if you see some weird stuff going on, that's just a problem with the replay and not so much a problem with Dr. Gonzo's torp location. I don't know if y'all saw this, but the wide spread of the torps right there, the Tashkent, the tier 8 doesn't, I don't think it has that. So that's pretty nice that you've got the what would it be? The quintuplet torp launcher. It shoots 5 torps, I think. That's a pretty wide spread for one torp launch. That's nice. So Gonzo's leaving that area and he's wrapping around the edge of the island because he wants to make sure that his cattle don't escape out to the east. So he's gonna kind of corral them a little bit more and say, "Get along, little doggy." This enemy Fubuki is 5.7 kilometers away from Dr. Gonzo right now, and I think he's thinking, I can't let this guy escape. Now he shoots AP just because that's what he had loaded, but he does switch to HE, which is a good move. He managed to knock out his engines, that's key. And then he just proceeds to put shot after shot into this destroyer and says, "You're not getting out of here, dude." Well played. That was nice. I like it a lot. Meanwhile, on the eastern side of the front, Dr. Gonzo 818's team is doing a pretty good job, it looks like. It looks like they're being aggressive and they're pushing up and getting the enemy pushed back all into one area. So on both sides of the map, his team is being aggressive and the benefits are being shown in the match. So this cruiser comes around and Dr. Gonzo 818 is just lighting him up, but he's also got the support of his team with him. So this cruiser, he's desperately trying to get out. He's trying to make something happen. He doesn't want to just stay in that little small box that his battleships have him confined to. But when he tries to make a move at this point, it's too late. And then Dr. Gonzo says, "Not so fast, my friend," and gets this guy to turn around. So he's either going to turn out or he's going to die. In this case, I think he's going to choose death. So Dr. Gonzo is going to be shooting AP at this guy. He's going to try to get those precious and sweet citadels that are its ace when they land. Now, if this were me, I think I would be trying to hit this guy with HE, just because I'm thinking the 130 mil guns don't have enough oomph at this distance. But Dr. Gonzo has a lot more experience in this ship than I do. But I did sleep at a Holiday Inn Express last night, so should be good. Now, he's played this ship, I haven't, but the 130 mil guns are all the same. So, yeah, I think I would have been shooting HE. It looks like he's gone back to HE, so that's good. Oh, back to AP. Okay, never mind. Let's see what he does if he gets some dist. Dude, are you kidding me? All these shots are falling short or going long, and they're just splicing the target. This is so unlucky. Okay, he is turning out now, so those are going to go short, I think. Okay, yeah. Yeah, for a while there, that was just some bad luck. The shots were just going anywhere but on the target. Okay, so that's probably the last shots on this guy because he's out of range now. But you see what happened when they tried to escape. It was just murder. Also, right now in the east, they've pushed up and they're just going to start boxing them in into that northwest corner. So Dr. Gonzo looks like he's trying to get back into range and make an example out of this Miyoko. Oh, he dead. He's so dead. So with these Russian DDs, you really need to work for your taste. I mean, Dr. Gonzo has put shot after shot after shot onto these targets, and he doesn't have a ton of damage to account for it. That's coming, but yeah, if you get a match where you're like 100,000 damage in a Russian destroyer, you were doing work. You were shooting good. You had good positioning. There's a fire. That's a test. So take special note, this is the cow that was in the middle. This Izumo gets a lot of love from Dr. Gonzo 818, so yeah, that one fire is not all he's going to be seeing this match. He's trying to get fires in different spots of the ship. He already has it on the superstructure portion, so I think now he's trying to get a fire on the front of the ship. One of my knocks on this Russian destroyer line, and Wargaming has come back and said, no, all the destroyers are the same. All destroyers get their turrets knocked out. Maybe that's the case, and I only notice it on the Russians, but it seems to me that these Russian turrets get knocked out like crazy, and when the ship is so dependent upon its guns, and then you permanently lose them, to me that makes the ship lose value. Gonzo makes it work though. And a big part of what makes that work is dude hadn't gotten hardly hit right here. In patch 0.5.2, the Russian guns were nerfed. So they went from 9% fire chance to 7% fire chance, and they went from 1900 HE damage to 1600 HE damage. To me, the nerf to the damage did not seem like a big deal, but the nerf to the fire chance was a pretty big deal. And I'm not really even sure why they nerfed the 130mm guns. To me, the only thing that really needed a nerf was the Kiev, not really the other Russian destroyers. I mean, if you look at the average damage done for destroyers, the Russians outside of the Kiev weren't really tearing it up. Yes, they are the best destroyer on destroyer killers, but that's what they're made for in this game. Look at this, Gonzo's lining up for a Torp run. The problem is, his Torps are only 8 kilometers. Even for a tier 9, they're only 8 kilometers, so that's not a taste. Those probably are not going to have the range unless if they turn in, but what he's doing is he's popping smoke. He knows that his team is spotting those ships, so he can just sit back and get some dissed. And when you see a juicy Sensicola, a Pensacola, yeah, switch to AP, try to get that dissed. This guy is angling decent, and I can see some of these shots bouncing, but he is getting a nice 450 for every hit that he is making. Also, when you're getting hit that many times, something pops up in your head saying, hey, I need to get the heck out of here. And that's why the enemy team is where they are right now. They're just all bottled up. Oof, and now I'm watching. There's an enemy destroyer that's one-on-one with this friendly carrier, and that's not going to be too good. If he kills that carrier and then gets into cap, that could be pretty bad because it's going to get his team to turn out and just leave Gonzo on his own. Those tier 7 Japanese carriers are not slow though, so he could have a trick up his sleeve. No tricks. So hopefully this Atlanta recognizes that threat to his cap and turns down south, because in Atlanta, on a spotted DD, that DD is a big problem. Just look at all these shots going out by Gonzo though. I mean, that is just so much HE and so much fire chance. It looks like his buddy in the cruiser here was trying to get into his smoke and sharing the taste. So sure enough, it looks like that destroyer's starting to cap it out, and the Atlanta is now reacting to it and deciding to head down south. Yet another fire. That is just a taste. The biggest threat to these battleships is not the actual HE damage that comes from these guns, it's that chance of fire. And if he can't put it out, that's about like 300 a tick. Steel Reserve from the Steelcast 27 put together a video called the Match Analysis Series Episode 2 Fire and Cap Mechanics Explained, and in that video he pointed out the mechanics of fire. So specifically, a battleship that's caught on fire is going to tick every 2 seconds for 0.6% of its total life. That's pretty significant. So when the nerf came in saying that the Russian guns are going to go from 1900 HE damage to 1600 HE damage, to me that wasn't very significant, but the chance of fire being reduced was. So if you have 4 fires on one battleship, that battleship is losing 2.4% of its life every 2 seconds. That is significant. It's just a feeding frenzy for Dr. Gonzo right now. So right now the center cow is getting cooked well done, and he can't do anything about it. Whenever he takes a shot at Dr. Gonzo at this range, Dr. Gonzo simply turns out of it, and those shells miss. Now, oh my gosh, I know this feeling right here. You want to put hits on the battleship because you know that's the threat, but then you also see the immediate test. Those carriers have absolutely no armor whatsoever, so you can citadel them with HE. It's amazing. The only thing about this strategy, though, is when that battleship now takes a shot at Dr. Gonzo, he's not going to see it, and he's not going to be able to turn out of it. So going after the carrier is making him susceptible to incoming test. The damage that he is putting on this carrier amazed me. All those citadels plus the fire, that's dazed. And as I mentioned, he just got popped by that battleship and didn't dodge it because he didn't see the rounds coming in because he's getting his dazed. I think we all do this right here. We see that taste and we gotta get it. As Stu Reserve from the Steelcast 27 pointed out, fires on a carrier are 0.8%. So I guess you could assume that fires on a carrier burn a little bit hotter. I love it when you get that kill notification message. I think that's pretty cool. Especially when it's an aircraft carrier. So here's Gonzo again making another great move. He's broadside, he's not in fear of being torped, and he popped his smoke, so now he can just sit there, not be shot back at, and get as many shots out as he wants, free of charge. The amount of hits he has right now in this match is just utterly amazing, and he's still going. And what's really awesome about this is not invisible firing. I mean, right now he's in the smoke, so he can't be seen, but he's not doing that mechanic like the American destroyers do, where you get all the crew perks and then you can shoot and not be seen if you're shooting from a certain distance. The whole time he was able to be shot at, and he's still getting all this taste. Now there's a message in chat that perhaps I'm reading into it wrong, but this guy is saying, BB killing not your strong suit, eh guys? His team is getting crushed. He is about dead. Dr. Gonzo has hit this guy 132 times, and he takes the time to talk trash during the match. I can't understand how you could be completely owned and then sit there and type that seconds before your death. Like I said, maybe I'm reading into this wrong. Maybe there was no ill will, but I thought that was pretty bad to type that. When I saw Dr. Gonzo 818 get that last fire on that guy after talking trash, that made this kill all that much sweeter. So right now it looks like the cow on the right is going to be the tastiest choice. He's partially cooked, but he's still a little raw, so he's going to need a little bit more time underneath the flame. When you're just accurately putting hits onto a battleship, it's just a matter of time before he catches fire again. This is 26 straight shots here, 31 without a fire. That is bad RNG right there. I would have hoped that he could have gotten a fire out of that. And that's where the little minor nerf from 9% to 7% fire chance on those guns I felt was inappropriate, uncalled for, you know? I mean, here Gonzo is just trying to cook his dinner, and they're not going to let him. What's up with that? He's just trying to get his taste. Like I said, I'm just happy he got that fire on the guy that was talking trash. That's what I cared about. So as you all are probably noticing, it looks like the replay is broken here. He actually has the Colorado targeted, and he has the torpedo lead indicator in the right spot, but the replay is showing him having Iowa targeted, and that's a mistake. So I love what he does right here. He has the wherewithal to try to get a fire in the front of the ship because he realizes that there's not one there. Now he's going and he's trying to hit the back of the ship to get a fire. This is how you maximize your test. Yes, you'll get more damage out of hitting the superstructure, but that's just short term. He's going for the long term goal here, trying to get as many fires as he can. Burn it long, burn it strong. So with time ticking down, he's had an absolutely fantastic match. Let's take a look at the stats here in a little bit and see what he did. 409 hits, 3 incapacitations, 3 kills, 17 fires, 4 citadels. Absolutely amazing. 15,500 from AP, 64,200 from HE, 35,400 from fire set. That is, that's just one hell of a match. What do you think the mindset is of the enemy when one ship is shooting at them 918 times? That was one hell of a video. Thank you for sending it in. Hats off to you, Dr. Gonzo 818. If you are a subscriber and would like to send me your replay, please post your replay to wowreplays.com. Then go to the About section of the Taste channel and click the Send Message button to let me know where to find and download your replay. Unfortunately, replays are time sensitive. As Wargaming patches the game, it makes it much more difficult to watch older replays. If you have a good match you want to share, please make sure to submit them in as soon as your time permits. I hope that you all enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, please click the like button. And if you're interested in receiving updates as new videos are posted to the channel, please feel free to subscribe. I'm generally divisioned up with Steel Reserve. Steel Reserve has his own YouTube channel with a very unique series that I enjoy titled History in Combat. I definitely recommend stopping by his channel and checking those videos out. And as always, thanks for watching the test.